I'm going to do an insight video today, and I'm going to talk about this sense of like the infinite self. And the infinite self is this potential to access this source energy, this source vibration within each and every being, within each and every moment, and it connects directly to the universal laws of vibration, frequency, and oneness. The infinite self is this aspect of self where we sort of shift from the 3D dimension to the 5D dimension, and we start to live in vibration and frequency. And unlocking this potential and unlocking this sort of like power of the infinite self is the ability to know that through sort of our own vibration on our own inner source, there's always access. There's always access to this infinite consciousness, this infinite energy. And at any time, all we have to do is just like shift our consciousness from the external world to the internal world. And the internal world is where we end up sort of like where we can align with this source energy and vibrate. And it gives us the freedom. It gives us the freedom to start to shift and change things. It gives us the freedom and the awareness to know that within ourselves, within our vibration, within that infinite self, there's a vibration, there's a frequency that can shift and change and align and transmutate and transform anything at any time in through sort of our awareness and our consciousness, that we can shift things at will. And this is why it's important that we start to shift from into the infinite self, because the infinite self is, like I said, this fifth dimensional vibration and frequency. It's the union of source energy. And knowing that we've always got this seed of creation within each and every one of us, that we can access at any time. And we do this through, like I've said, some of the practical tools of like through meditation, through visioning, through using crystals, many of these sort of like ways, and open up our energy centers. And we do this so that we can be more aligned, and we can be more sort of in harmony with that source energy, and knowing that, you know, at any time we can live within that infinite self and that inner reality, that inner source creation, and that inner source vibration, which is again, the infinite self is connected to the universal law of oneness. The oneness that, you know, this source energy is always with us, and it connects to many different realities, many different vibration, many different frequencies, and it also connects to the many different levels of consciousness and reality of source energy. And the infinite self lives there. The infinite self exists and vibrates there. And the more that we practice, and the more that we start to align with it, the more we start to understand that all we have to do is access that vibration. And it's shifting awareness and shifting consciousness constantly to align, bring union and harmony, and when our awareness expands, then also our consciousness expands, and then our vibration expands. And this is how we start to access the infinite self. And it's a daily practice. It's a practice that is ongoing, and it's all very much around sort of like, you know, the power of presence, the power of being in the moment. And being in the moment is the eternal moment, the eternal vibration, the eternal frequency. And this is the practice that we constantly need to be doing. The more we do this, the more we stay in our vibration, the more we stay in this frequency. And it's sort of like alignment, being in the present moment, in the present vibration, and knowing that from there, through that seed of creation and through that source energy, we can access source living. And source living is living from like our creative spark, our creative seed. And this is the constant sort of re-evaluation of our lives. And this is when we start to live through vibration and frequency, because we know that this energy, this source energy, is there, and we can access it and start to shift and change vibrations and frequencies. And when we shift and change vibrations and frequencies, then we start to manifest and attract and create reality. Everything that everything around source energy and vibrations and frequencies create and manifest reality. So all reality is a vibration and a frequency, and this is the concept of the fifth dimensional reality and the fifth dimensional awareness and the fifth dimensional consciousness, that all things are energy and vibration. And when we change and shift and align our vibrations, or make our vibrations, you know, different or higher, then we shift and change a reality. We shift and change something to experience something in a different way. And we also, through sort of connecting to the fifth dimensional reality and source living, living is very much symbolic, and it's always got like a if you look beyond like the physical reality, there's that source energy, that source vibration. And I always feel like when some sort of like experience or reality is experienced, there's always like a deeper meaning beyond that. And this is that source vibration, that source frequency, and this is where our awareness and our consciousness shifts, because we start to see beyond it. But we also we know that there's infinite possibilities and infinite potential in every moment, in everything that we experience. There's an opportunity to shift, change, and align and harmonise. And this is what this time's about, and this is what many of us are going through. Many of us are going through sort of like an alignment in our own lives, in our own reality. Things are coming up, things are being made sort of visible to us through like the source consciousness and source vibration, and we're starting to see that we can shift and align it, and what we're experiencing and living is only a reflection of what we're creating from our inner source. And when we start to realize that everything's a mirroring effect, we know that everything can be aligned and changed from our essence, from our source energy, from our source seed of creation. We start to realize that in that moment, in that eternal moment, there's opportunity to shift and change things at will. And this is all very much around, again, transmutation, the universal law of transmutation and transformation, which is transmuting like one state of being to another. So it's moving through a different vibration, but it's also the awareness and consciousness, knowing that from our source energy and our source center and our seed of creation, that we can shift and change our reality. And we're not powerless, we're powerful beings, and this is what the eternal moment brings. The eternal moment brings this knowledge and this awareness that we are powerful beings that can shift and change reality. And each and every one of us are born with that source energy. We're created from it, and we're created, and each and every one of us has that seed of creation. And this is like when I've talked about like the source creator, this is the awareness again that we're all co-creators. And this is the infinite flow of the universe, the ebb and flow of the universe, that the source energy is always with us and always sort of aligning with us. And then it's about us consciously expressing it in a form that aligns with our with what we feel is our purpose, but also aligns with different sort of like vibrations and frequencies to create different possibilities. And there's infinite possibilities in that source energy, and this is the infinite self, knowing that you are always have the ability to create, shift, and change reality. Whatever experience whatever experience happens, whatever experience happens to you externally, you always have the ability to shift and change it into something different, into something more aligned with you, with your vibration, with your frequency. I mean, anything that happens externally, there's always an ability to shift and change it into a different experience, a different reality from your inner source. And you also then start to realize that even things that you feel that have impact on you, that have an impact on you in a negative way, from your source vibration, your source seed of creation, that you can shift and change it and mold it into something that more aligns with you. And this is where sort of like purification, daily sort of like practice of purification, alignment and harmonizing are so important. And this is why like meditation and sitting with crystals on your energy centers and visioning are really important, because what you're doing is you're actually starting to access your source creator and your source vibration, your source frequency, and starting to realize that you're not limited, you're infinite. And actually every experience and every sort of like event that comes into your life, you can shift and change it and mold it into something that more harmonizes with you. And this is the point of the eternal, this is the point of the oneness vibration. And this is the part and the shifting of like this new consciousness, this fifth dimensional reality, this fifth dimensional consciousness, in sort of like different realities where you're more of a sort of like an energetic being, where you move into these different sort of dimensions beyond the physical form. Everything is sort of like created through a vibration, through an instant sort of an instant shift in consciousness, and the whole reality then is sort of like manifested and created from there. And you're no different in this human form. You still have that ability. This is what the fifth dimension is. It works on vibration and frequency, and we know that all creation is energy, and all we have to do is shift and align our own energy to bring it into a vision, or into a like a vibration and a reality that more harmonizes with us. It's really sort of like understanding there is no limits, there's no limitations in the eternal moment. It's infinite, and there's an infinite vibration and an infinite sort of potential to create, manifest anything you want. Reality is not good or bad. It's, you know, we experience it and it impacts us, but it's not good and bad. We can create it in a different sort of vision and a different sort of like vibration to make it harmonize with ourselves, to make it feel more aligned with us. You know, and this is part of the practice. When you start moving into fifth dimensional consciousness and reality, you realize that you, through your source energy and your source creator and the vibration and frequency, whatever impacts you externally it comes, you know, comes from people, events, experiences. You can then go within your own source creator and then shift and align it so you can experience it in a different way, but experience it more in sort of like harmony with your own source energy. That your source energy is the infinite potential, the infinite vibration and frequency that allows you to shift and harmonize all things, harmonize all reality, all experiences, and all events. And this is the practice, is that daily when things come in and they sort of like affect us, and we feel that it lowers our vibration, then we expand our vibration to dissolve it, move through it, purify it, to once again come back into harmony. And this is the practice that we, or many of us, are moving through constantly. The constant sort of re-evaluation, the constant alignment, the constant harmony. And this is the infinite moment, and each and every one of us has access to it. And all we have to do is just live within it, live within that eternal potential, that infinite moment, and know that through sort of like our own vibration we can harmonize, shift, change, purify all reality, all experiences. And we also have the potential to create you know, a potential sort of reality that will harmonize with us. And the more we do this, and the more we do this through practice, the more that it becomes part of our sort of like our nature, our infinite nature. And then what we start to do is we instantly sort of like express something in a different way, and we dissolve something through transmutation and transformation to bring online a reality, or a vibration or a frequency that puts us back into harmony with our true nature, with our true self and the infinite self. That's the insight for today.